Welcome to Deck Pass Live, presented by Xfinity. We're here at the Toyota U.S. Open, where racing is just about finished here at the beautiful Macaulay Aquatic Center on the campus of Georgia Tech. I'm Jeff Commings.
And I'm Kaitlin Sandeno.
And this has been a great weekend.
Really
We've kind of got our storylines for 2020 going up to the Olympic trials. A lot of the veterans making some statements, but a lot of these younger swimmers are saying, don't count me out. I'm going to be in the hunt for an Olympic spot next year.
That's what's so exciting this time of the year. You know, we're about 6 months out and anything can happen within those 6 months, but it's not something that has been taken lightly. This is something that we've been training for the last 4 years, and it's finally getting to be that time where that big shave and taper is coming and that moment that you hope is just on for that week at Olympic trials.
It really has to be on. And I think a lot of these veterans are looking at some of these up-and-comers and saying, I can't just sit back and just assume that I'm going to make an Olympic team or just that my best time is going to make it, because as they probably know, they were young when they made their first Olympic teams. Anything can happen. I think that's what makes it fun to watch Olympic trials. And one of those athletes who is really going to be in the hunt to make the Olympic team is our first guest tonight. Was in the final both breaststrokes at the World Championships in both breaststroke events, and had a great swim tonight in the 200 breaststroke, and is one of our top guests tonight, Andrew Wilson. Great to have you here.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
So, I know you're probably tired of hearing me say this every time I interview you, but you guys don't know the journey this guy has had to being on the national team. Swam at Emory, a Division III school, because that's the only school that wanted him at the time out of high school.
I don't even know if they wanted me, to be honest.
You're taking me.
But they got me.
They got you. And now here you are, just a few years later, making the finals of World Championships in 2 events. I mean, you have to look back on this journey and say, I mean, how can you describe it?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that a lot of the time I don't maybe stop and think about it as much as I should. It's pretty crazy, but honestly, it's just a testament to the people I've had around me throughout the way. And I think that, when my career is all said and done, I'll definitely look back and reflect on it a little bit more. But right now, I'm just trying to enjoy the process and see how far I can go with it.
So Emory, only a few miles away. What's your favorite part about being back in Atlanta this weekend?
Definitely the restaurants. Atlanta's got some awesome food, and just hitting all of my favorite places is, I come into Atlanta a good amount because I just need to hit some of those restaurants, but whenever I'm back, it's great.
What's the one that you're like, I have to go there, I will not go home until I eat there?
There's a lot. So one of my favorite places is Alon's Bakery. It's near Emory. They've got some dangerously good cookies. So I had to stop there on Thursday when I wasn't racing and get a little carbo load in.
Perfect. I have to put that on my list.
That is really nice. And obviously, Athens has really good food too. You guys are really close as a post-grad team. Do you guys go out to eat a lot after workouts, or is it kind of like you all go out and do your own separate little things?
No, I think that one of the things that really drew me to Georgia when I moved there last year was how big and how close that group is. It makes it really, really easy to want to get better and to want to go to practice when you've got such a close group around you. So, I think that, it's, they're not just training partners, they're going to be lifelong friends.
Right. And you talked about, stuff about, life after swimming, which, maybe next year, maybe much later than that, but you graduated with a degree in physics. Are you thinking that there's a career in physics, or do you want to do something besides that?
So right now, I started graduate school at University of Texas at Austin in 2017, but full-time mathematics graduate school and full-time swimming don't really mix too well. So I put that on hold until whenever I finish my swimming career, but I want to go back to school, probably for applied math, and then I'll see where I go from there.
How are you feeling with the different races that you put up this weekend, the 100 breast and 200 breaststroke? Are you happy with the results that you had here?
Yeah, I think that there's definitely mixed feelings for some of them. I think there were places where I wanted to be a little bit better, but overall, given the amount of rest that we got coming in here, I'm pretty happy, and I think it gives me confidence going into the spring. I love racing long course, and I think that I'm in the best position that I have been in December. So I'm just really looking forward to the spring and summer.
And the group of breaststrokers you have there, we talked about this last night with Nick Fink. You guys are probably really pushing each other places you probably never thought were possible, and every day in workout. I mean, I know that's probably another reason why you went to Georgia, but you know, just every day in workout, I'm sure you're just thinking, I could get my butt kicked, but that's probably a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I knew when I got there that Nick was going to be an awesome training partner for me. Like you said, you know, it's good to get your butt kicked every once in a while and kind of remind you. And I also think it's helpful because it makes it so that you can't really like take a day off. You know, you can't go to practice and be like, like I'm not feeling it today. Like I'm just going to take it easy. You know, both of us are really competitive. Both of us don't like to lose. But I think that, you know, we all have a really, really good working relationship. I mean, if you look at, you know, me and Nick's results from last season, I think for both of us it was the best year of our career. Right. And I really don't think that's a coincidence. You know, I think that, you know, we each want to see each other do as well as they can. You know, and we're teammates first and competitors second.
Yeah. Well, we were talking before the show started, and you were saying something you'd like to do is be a stadium announcer for pro sports. And I think everybody agrees you got a great voice, and we might actually put that to use a little bit later in the show. We might have you introduce our next guest.
Yeah, I'd love to.
All right, so stick around. We're going to have you do that. But before we do that, we got to talk about another great race that happened here today in the pool. Just kind of another really great upset in the women's 100 freestyle. Simone Manuel, the reigning Olympic and world champion, was in lane 5, and this lady was in lane number 4. Erica Brown of Tennessee, a senior, and she has been very good at short course. And look at the start here on the left, and Simone has always been a great starter on the right, but Erica just outdid Simone on the start, and I think that's what really helped Erica.
I had a feeling that Simone was going to come back, but no, she held on so strong. She had a very, very impressive back half. And we were kind of looking it up. She just came off a swim meet not too long ago with her college team. So to come here and throw down some great times long course, that's got to do a lot for her confidence. Anytime you beat the defending world record holder, Olympic champion, you got to be feeling pretty good going into 2020.
Well, I think she, you know, being up against Simone Manuel, I think she looks like a racer. I can tell she's a racer, and that really helps. And she's definitely going to be someone that's in the conversation for that very, very tight 100 freestyle at the Olympic trials next year. So the Pro Swim Series is going to be kicking off in 2020. We've got 4 more meets before the Olympic trials. And you see there the schedule. We've got Knoxville in January. We're going to have Des Moines in March, Mission Viejo in April, and then we're going to wrap up the Pro Swim Series in Indianapolis before everybody heads to Omaha for the Olympic trials, and it's going to be a great meet there. And joining me here on the Deck Pass Live desk is my new guest, the CEO of Streamline Brands, Matt Lane. Matt, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So talk about this partnership that Streamline has now with USA Swimming.
Yes, it's been in existence for about a year now, and we had been working with the foundation, the USA Swimming Foundation. We decided to go ahead and up our game and actually contribute to the overall good of the sport and be an official swim school provider of USA Swimming.
Well, talk about how, I mean, I'm a swim school owner myself, but talk about how important it is to have swim schools across the country.
So ultimately, everybody's got to learn to swim.
Yes.
You know, and if you go interview 10 parents, 8 out of 10 parents will tell you it's an important life skill. And so every one of these athletes started by learning how to swim primarily from a safety point of view.
Yes.
And as that progresses, ultimately many people find the lifelong spirit of the sport and end up joining and enjoying it for the rest of their life. But that safety is a critical element of it.
And this is something we cannot stress enough is, yes, that's what you want to do the swim lessons for. First of all, it's not to get in the water to try to be an Olympian. It's learn to swim first, have fun for the sport, and then kind of see what happens. When you're out there, do you see these kids having that kind of enjoyment?
No, absolutely. I mean, the 2 most important words in our mission statement are safety and joy. And we pick those words very carefully because the joy of swimming is truly lifelong, but the safety element also is critical.
And something I noticed that was part of Streamline Brands is this Champions Library. Tell us about that.
Well, one of the things that's unique about the Streamline Brands family is we have several different swim school brands. One of them is Swim Labs, and Swim Labs is all about giving our students the opportunity to compare their stroke and technique against the world's best. And what our library of the world's best we call the Champions Library. So it's all about not only giving our students the opportunity to compare, but also helping these athletes continue to build their notoriety and demonstrate the expertise that they use every night when they race to the world, basically. So we tape them in a confined or controlled environment and allowed our students to do side-by-side comparison of the Swim Labs tanks.
Well, I'm sure that Champions, I might have to go and look at that Champions Library. I always need a little bit of help every place I can get.
Of course.
Matt, thank you so much for joining me. Congratulations on the partnership and much continued success
Thank you.
forward. Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
it.
So as we said, a lot of the people that start in swim schools, they just start out there to have fun, but eventually they become Olympians, and they get to swim in a pool like this, which is where the 1996 Olympic Games was held, believe it or not. A lot of you probably remember that meet. And after the Centennial Olympic Games were awarded to the city of Atlanta, the campus of Georgia Tech was selected as the venue for the aquatics competition and the building of a state-of-the-art swimming and diving stadium, as you see right there. On July 19, 1996, the games began as American swimming icon Janet Evans ran the last leg of the torch relay in the Olympic Stadium before passing the flame on to the legendary Muhammad Ali to light the cauldron. And in the pool, the United States earned 26 medals, half of them gold. And that was led by Amy Van Dyken's 4 trips to the top of the podium, among many other athletes that really made America proud. And now after the Olympics, this pool was renovated, and now is the pool you see right behind us now, where they have a lot of great competitions. So now we're back here with Andrew Wilson. As we said, Andrew, we're going to put you to work here.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, so introduce our next guest.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest, the featherweight individual medley champion of the world, Melanie Margalis.
I love it. I think Andrew's got a future. I think that's great.
Melanie
He
says
practices every day.
every day.
Every day.
Is it just your name or the whole team? Just yours?
Yeah, just
It's
me.
you.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know what it is about my name. I don't
think
know.
it ends in a vowel, so that's great. You can stretch it out.
I just don't know how I lasted my whole life without anybody doing this, and now I just have it every day. Like, why wasn't this happening to me every day? I don't know.
I know. Now you're going to, if it doesn't happen, something's missing from your life. You're not going to have a good day. I think that's a new superstition. He needs to go with you everywhere you go.
Yeah.
He definitely needs to do that.
Yeah.
Well, great swims this weekend.
Yes.
Double
Thank you.
IM champion.
I am sweep.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
There were some really good races.
Yeah, I'm sure that 200 IM was a little bit unexpected. That last freestyle leg, you and Alex Walsh battling it out.
Yeah. I mean, that race was the most fun I've had in a race in a while. And that race is like what's going to keep me going when I get back to training. That was so much fun. And I knew back in 2018, I knew that she was going to be one to watch out for, and she just really proved that.
You had a really successful year in general. What is your highlight from 2019?
Oh gosh, I don't know. That's a hard one. Wow, you just made me realize it's the end of the.
I know.
Holy
Crazy.
cow. I mean, I think ending the year on this note is probably the highlight of the year.
Yeah, you can't really beat that. And, you actually, and the 200 IM, I keep harping on it because it was a really good swim. It was actually faster than you swam at World Championships, too. I mean, that's got to give you a lot of motivation for next year as well, because I know that was probably, was that expected? Were you trying to go faster than you did at Worlds?
No, I didn't know. I didn't know that was going to happen. I think that was just me trying to keep up with Alex. She kind of took the race by the horns and went for it, and I was like, oh gosh, I gotta go.
A little birthday birdie, a teammate of yours, she told me you're very passionate about skincare. Let's talk skincare. What is it about it that you just love?
I don't know. I mean, right now I've been doing some stuff that's not agreeing with me, and I'm breaking out. So this is a bad time to talk about it, but
I think it's a great question because I feel like parents and swimmers are always asking, like, what do you do for your hair? What do you do for your skin? So what works for you?
I mean, for me personally, I at meets I have to put Aquaphor on my face the whole time. And that's the only way that I don't get dry, flaky skin at meets because they crank up the chlorine. So to me, that's my main tip is Aquaphor.
We got to get you a sponsor. We're all about finding people sponsors.
Yeah, Kaitlin's all about getting
Aquaphor,
sponsors.
Melanie Margalis.
She's going to be an agent in her. I think you'd be a great agent.
Thank you.
I'm here with two great medley swimmers. Kaitlin was a great medley swimmer, and Melanie, you're just a great swimmer. What, besides being good in all 4 strokes, what makes a great individual medley swimmer?
her breaststroke. Because for me, that was my weakness, and I was in such admiration of your 200 breaststroke that you put together here. And for me, when I was doing the IMs, I was like, all right, breaststroke, fake it till you make it. And with you, you're like, okay, yeah, breaststroke. And for me, I think being a breaststroker, that's my 2 cents.
I mean, for me, I think it's just a strategy. Sometimes some of your strokes are going to feel off, and sometimes
Gosh, you see
You
that?
don't have any fun out there. I love it. You're always so smiley. I absolutely love how
I'm in a bad mood all the time.
It
It's so
seems
mean.
like it. It really seems like it.
So we're looking at tonight's 200 breaststroke, and that's you. You were second from the bottom there, and obviously the race was going between Lily King and Emily Escobedo, and you know you're actually putting in a good swim there, going in fourth in this last turn here. You know, were you aware of what Emily and Lily were doing out there? Were you just staying in your own lane?
I could see Lily a little bit on my pullouts, but that was it. I mean, they're so good at breaststroke. I let them do their thing out there.
But that's the thing, it was such an impressive field, and I thought that you hung in there so well. And after you just dominated the 2IM, the 4IM, and you just looked really strong and fresh. I was watching your 2IM and your legs coming home. You didn't even look fatigued. You just look awesome right now. Then you throw down when this 200 breaststroke field that was pretty stacked. You're like, hey, I'm going to get fourth in this. So well done.
Thank you. Thanks. It was fun.
Yeah.
That was actually the most fun ready room I'd been in this weekend.
It seemed like it. I mean, you guys, well, I think there was like a little bit of delay, so you guys are like trying to cut the tension a little bit.
Yeah.
But what is the ready room like at your international meets, though?
Yeah.
What are you like? Because you're pretty,
Yeah,
fun.
I mean, like, I try to find someone I can talk to. Like if I can talk to someone, if I can talk to someone, I'm gonna talk to them.
Yeah.
So that's like my main thing. I love being with another American, because then I'm like, okay, I know that for sure I can talk to them. I mean, obviously sometimes people get serious in those situations. I'm not one of them.
Oh, that's
but
funny you say that, because we heard this rumor for media day that they're like, okay, Melanie, be really serious, get angry, and you like could not hold that face whatsoever.
Yeah, I just can't do it.
Not your thing.
No.
Look at the camera, be as serious as you can.
1 second. You
I'll
lasted
turn it
1
with
second. I think that's what everybody likes about you. I mean,
Yes.
you make it fun. You make it so exciting. But obviously that switch has to turn on at some point. You step up on the blocks.
Well, that's weird, because I was watching the next races and I was watching them on the blocks, and I was thinking that, you know, people are yelling when you're on the blocks, and I realized that that's actually when everything shuts off for me.
Because you don't hear them.
Yeah, like
You're
I
like,
feel
oh,
like
there's
that is the time that I get into my zone, is on the blocks, and I'm just like, it's just me, and I'm just about to race.
Well, that makes sense. That really, I mean, I couldn't imagine. You know, you have to at some point be like, okay, let's go, let's race. I'm hungry for this win. You have to turn it on at some point.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think that we do so much thinking in practice.
Yeah.
Like, all we do is think all practice, so that when we get to these situations, we shouldn't have to, like, think, you know?
Ready to
I'd rather just be like, okay, I'm just going to dive in and I'm going to do what I do every day.
Fantastic. Well, you have one more big meet with ISL finals, and then it's the holidays. What do you have planned?
All my family's coming to Florida.
Oh.
My brother just had twin boys back in May, and they're coming for Christmas. I'm so excited. They're so cute, and I'm so obsessed with them. I can't wait to see them.
Auntie of the year.
Our Melanie's going to
Great.
be so happy over the holidays.
Yes, I cannot wait.
Yeah, we'll send them our congratulations.
Yes,
We're
please
so
do.
happy to hear that.
I will.
That's so great. Well, have a great holiday season. And we're going to be
you.
looking forward to seeing what happens in 2020. You're going to go to all the pro swim meets?
I think so. I
Just getting through this year first.
yeah.
Wrapping up 2019.
Yeah, get through all the training first, and then you can start to think
some
ahead.
Christmas training.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
Favorite time of the year.
Yeah.
Thank you,
All
Melanie.
right, so I hope all of you guys out there that are watching, the swimmers, have some great holiday training. Put in the work now, because you will be rewarded a little bit later. We speak from experience. You put in the work and the rewards will come. So work hard out there, and everybody, your dreams will come true. Thank you so much for joining us here, Kaitlin.
Yes.
Have a great
Thank
Christmas.
you. Happy, Merry everything.
Yes.
Thank you all our fans for watching us. It's been an awesome, great, amazing weekend in Atlanta, Georgia. Looking forward to exciting times ahead, and tis the season.
Yeah, so 2020 begins with the Pro Swim Series in Knoxville, and we're going to see you there. Thanks everybody for joining us on Deck Pass Live, presented by Xfinity.